we should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm. Ha 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 ha.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. And this is the midweek report. And first, before we get into the broadcast here, I would like to say on today, which is January 15th, salute and double honors and happy birthday and paradise to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And as you have been with me for some time, know that I have drafted the Dr. Martin Luther King Reparations Act, which, I might have to go on an overview of that again here soon. But with that being said, today actually being his birthday, we give him homage and honor. Today, this being his day of birth. Of course, you know him as the civil rights icon, and you also know him as one who told America, we are coming to Washington to get our check. And that is the Dr. Martin Luther King to whom we represent and carry on that legacy today. Because if you are not seeking reparations for foundational Black American freedmen, then you are not for the people. And you are not representing his legacy to the fullest. Because reparations is a part. So, with that being said, salute to him, his family, those who are still on living, salute to all of you. Now, with that being said, getting into the conversation, if you are coming into this broadcast right now, hit that like button, share this out on your social media, subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. If you are watching this on X, make sure you come over here to the YouTube channel and subscribe right here on Beatzilla PDX YouTube. Beatzilla PDX official YouTube channel. And hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres. And, or, maybe every now and then might be a short here and there. But with that being said, this is a tape delayed show, of course. This is a tape delayed broadcast, rather. So with that being said, getting into the topic at hand, Sassy Soros puppets. And of course, you see as I have Michelle Obama here in the left-hand corner. And you see Jasmine Crockett here with the puppet body. And the caption reads, "I'm the new it girl." And, as probably a lot of people could say, that's probably got a lot of truth to it now, doesn't it? Now, I think for everybody who has been seeing, how they've been grooming some of these new up-and-coming politicians, her being one, AOC being the other, it seems to me like, they're definitely putting these ladies in position to represent a certain agenda, which, of course, again, is not a foundational Black American-based agenda, because all of these people that you see now that are out there talking about representing us, for some reason, all of them have some tie to George Soros. Go figure. That probably should be examined. You understand what I mean? Like, because that probably shouldn't be. But anyway, let's take a look at something first, though. Before we get to the politics side of this evening, we have to get to some news. And so first, some of y'all might have seen this story that has happened. I think it was initially posted on Facebook, but now it has been moved to X. And I think even I've seen Dr. Rashad Ritchie, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he actually spoke on this situation as well. So let me go ahead and play the first video, and then we'll go through this. Okay, so walking. So let me go back. Walking home from school today, my child, 11 years old, was placed in handcuffs and told that she was being detained because she matches the description of a woman who stole a Kia. My child is released from school at 1:55, and this happened at 2:40. When did she have time to steal a Kia? Let's see. If she did steal the Kia, where is it? Why should she be walking down the street playing in the snow with her friends? And this is on this, Sheriff. So this is the first video.
Wait, I'm actually so confused.
I'm scared.
There's another one right there. I'm staying with her. I don't care about what your dad says. Y'all can go.
You guys can keep going.
No, I gotta stay with her. This is my sister.
This is your sister?
Yes.
I know that's right. Good job.
Just leave her.
It's my
Good
sister
job,
cousin.
sister.
We're related.
Good job.
Where are you coming from?
We're coming from school. We were literally all just playing in the yard.
Okay, well, like I just said, you're just being detained right now because you're matching the description of someone in the camera.
I'm okay.
At what point do you use your discretion to say, obviously the description is wrong because this is a child? Or are you just assuming that an 11-year-old Black girl is somehow responsible for grand theft auto? Not saying that little kids can't, because we remember the little white girl and white boy that had a whole shootout with the police. And the police did everything in their power to make sure they didn't harm them children now, didn't they? And then they started blaming the system about it. And then after that, lo and behold, one of the police saying he's doing proactive policing pulls up on one of those those little children gangsters, one of their former counselors, and gets into a shootout and gets himself shot and deleted. And Othell Wallace is sitting in prison. And a lot of y'all don't even know that there was a tie there with them, what they called them, the baby face gangsters. You know, he was a counselor at that school. And then they present him to us as he was some kind of thug out there or nothing. No. Othell Wallace is he was basically a troubled child advocate. And you put the man in prison for defending himself for a cop that never should have been there. But nobody else is bringing up these connections. It's amazing to me. Whatever. You can't decipher a grown woman between an 11-year-old child?
They stole a what?
Car.
Oh.
She can't drive. What do you mean? Most kids can't drive and they're still out here stealing cars.
That's right.
This is who we want police in our streets. Were you still in cars when you were their age, ma'am? There's plenty of cars. Are they doing it in your community? The way that they want these children to accept being related to criminality is appalling. And it's very, very, very telling on how they police. Why are you trying to get these children to identify with criminals? Oh, well, you look like them. Plenty of kids out here are still in cars. What? What in the I want to bring trauma to black children hell is this? This is crazy.
6th grader.
Yeah. I got 12-year-olds driving those Kias and Hyundais.
Oh.
Wait, was it
He
yellow
probably
car?
got Angela.
No, it wasn't yellow.
Really?
What color was it? Black.
Oh. It was,
What type of car was it?
It was a Kia. Bro, it was one of them Kia boys. Kia girl. Brighton Academy.
Brighton Academy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool right there. You guys got
Kids playing in the snow after school. No car in sight. And you're over here, have this girl arrested. Is somebody calling for her parents? And just like you see that the mother said, this kid is 11. Obviously, she's a taller child, but and they're going to put the camera on this little girl's face. And so you will see that this is clearly, I guess that's their point, though. Plenty of 12-year-olds are running around here still in Kias. This is ridiculous.
We got out of school at like 1, but we just had to play in the yard.
You guys mind just stepping back a little bit? Thank you.
And he's looking at us like it's probably him calling the police singers.
Well, that's interesting that she says somebody else over there. She's like, oh, that was probably him. He probably called the police on us. But they're coming over there talking about she fits the description of somebody with a stolen car. So that also speaks to black children, and it sounds like a group of black girls. I don't see any boys around them. So these little girls can't just play by themselves. These are middle schoolers. Why are you bothering children? Like, these are clearly middle schoolers. You can hear it in their voices. They're young. And Oh, yeah, but, you know, I mean, plenty of people just like you that look just like you. I mean, you look just like this criminal. This is, I mean, it gets worse. I'll see the second part first. So, yeah, hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is brutal. All right, next video.
She was wearing a pink jacket, pink cargo pants. I mean,
Pink
those
jacket,
are pink.
camo pants.
Pink jacket, exact same description.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But then
Those are definitely not camo pants. And she has on a pink jacket. So you went and found the first black person in a pink jacket? And again, this is a person who stole a car. And still in a car in a bright pink jacket. They're going to steal it and then get right back on the street without any evidence of a car. Typically speaking, when you're looking for a stolen car, you're searching for the automobile. What would tip you off? Not, oh, well, there's some black person in pink. Let me stop. Maybe you stole this car that's nowhere in the vicinity. What the hell are we talking about? Now this again makes me wonder about what the other little girl just said about the person across the street. And so you just made up something and made up a story to come arrest these girls? What's going on here? Because, and again, why the hell is this little girl cuffed? You have no proof she stole anything. You fit the description. What?
did they say she had a bow in her hair?
I don't know. They're sending me a picture. So as soon as I get a picture, and if it's not her, she's all set to
You
go.
stole a car?
You was with me the whole time.
Okay.
Wait. So they don't even have the picture of the person. So they have a picture of the person, but they stopped this girl before they could confirm what the person looks like. Well, I'm waiting for them to send me the picture now, but you stopped this one. I think the other little girl might be onto something.
Hey, we was on a whole field trip. How could we steal a car?
How long have you guys been walking around together for?
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Like, as soon as we got out of school, we all just come in, hang out, and like we'll play in the fields.
Look, you
like,
can if you go around the corner, like right over there, you can see where we was playing in the snow at.
you'll see like footsteps and snowmans and stuff.
Snowman.
Snowmans.
Snowman.
Yes.
We didn't make no dang snowman.
Girl, you gonna tell me this ain't you?
Let me see.
Now you have the same shoes on, that's her.
That's not her. Let me see.
And she light-skinned it.
Light skin.
Let me see her.
Girl, you gonna tell me that's not you? Now watch how they start talking to this child. Girl, you gonna tell me this ain't you? You ain't gonna just confess that you stole a car that ain't here? You 11-year-old? Where's... And there's so much wrong with this.
That's really not her. I didn't even see the picture.
Hold on.
Back up, girl. Yeah. What's your password?
You're gonna lie and tell me that's not you.
I promise you. Look at her shoes.
Do you hear what this ass just said? You gonna lie and say that ain't you? You POS. And this is the type of harassment our children can endure out here. That's why definitely, for mine, and I got sons, so I already know how dudes like this operate. So I always, I pick my kids up. And then when we were working certain shifts to where we couldn't, then that's when the kids got cell phones. And you take it right to the house. I know when they leaving. I know when they walking in the gate. I know when they locking the gate. So, yeah. So this right here is really This somebody needed, and when I retweeted this out or reposted this on X, or whatever you say now, my point is, where's Ben Crump? Would you get your ass on this one, buddy? I mean, this should be a simple suit, because why is this little girl's rights being violated? There needs to be somebody looking into this matter. That little girl's rights are being violated. They just throwing out the Constitution, I guess. And is she under arrest? Talking about she fits the description, and now you're trying to get her to confess to Grand Theft Auto. You gonna tell me this ain't you? You gonna lie and tell me this ain't you? What the hell kind of accusatory cop shit is that? That is crazy. Go back. Hear him again.
What's your password?
You're gonna lie and tell me that's not you?
I'm not lying. That's look at her shoes are white. Her shoes do not have no pink around it.
You can't see. Listen, it is what it is. If you're honest, it'll make it easy.
0909 20.
You jackass.
It's alright. Like, this is really like crazy. Like, this is so crazy.
So this now, obviously, they done got word that they got it wrong. Maybe they caught the person with the car. So now they're trying to back out of this one with no problem. But you understand this little girl got her phone recording the entire time. So y'all knew that this was going to be online, but I guess you felt that you have done enough. So yeah, you just kind of got to walk away. Can't even try to punk this little girl anymore because you have done way too much.
I mean, I'm sorry. You could see how they could match that distance.
No, we
the
don't.
blades are way longer. That's two different heights. Y'all can see that she has peak.
Wow, two different heights. Oh, well, you could see how we could definitely see that same. No, sir, we can't. You're looking for an adult, and this is a child. That's a clear difference. You're looking for a woman. And your description is of a woman, not a kid. So why do you keep trying to get this kid to confess? And now you're taking the cuffs off because you know it wasn't her. After you just called her a liar. Man.
The other girl had white shoes on, they were probably Air Forces. Come here. You want to call your mom?
Good job, little girl. So
let's go.
Salute to y'all.
You guys are twins, all right?
They're not.
If it is you,
they're not. Salute to you, little girl.
This girl's got hair down to her ass. That's what. Like otherwise, like those pants. I just
Oh, stop!
all, like identical.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
The hell up out of here, man.
Okay.
You can see how. No, we can't. No, nobody can see how you were just racist, you bastard. What are you talking about? You could see how we got you. You guys are practically twins. Look. No. And shout out to that little girl who kept it real. She's not. They're not. They're practically twins. They're not. You got a grown woman who is taller and light-skinned with braids down to her ass. You have this little girl who's dark-skinned with like a braided up do, so none of her braids are hanging, and she has a hat on with a bow on it, and somehow you confuse this girl in pink. So just any Negro female in pink will do. Good thing she wasn't an infant, because she probably would have said she fits the description too. Geez, stay away from the preschools. But it fits the description. You got pink on. I really hope that somebody takes this girl's situation up, and obviously somebody need to look into them damn police, because how did this make sense? Is this what they're teaching their police? Man, I mean, everybody out here, you over here leading this kid, everything about this was wrong. And that's how our children get done. Stay the hell out of our neighborhoods. This is why we need black cops. We do not need these police around our children at all. Hell, on the other side of things, looking at how things are going on around here with these damn schools out here, you need to worry about having your children in some of these people's schools. Got all these and they hiding all of this stuff that's going on. We got a big scandal going on out here right now. And here's what's so cold about what they did. So they had this big old scandal with a bunch of folks hiding these white dudes' little ring or system, whatever the hell they had going on. But obviously it's more people involved. So there's like 10 people on suspension behind this case. But then they had this other case on that's unrelated with this guy that supposedly had a relationship with, I guess he had a relationship. They saying he had relationships with multiple students, but one student in particular, they actually arrested him and charged him and had to drop the case. And, it dawned on me today, like, wait a minute, because they keep talking now that these guys keep getting more charges and more charges. This thing keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they knew it was going to be, right? Because they knew what they were hiding. And this is so bad that they lied on the police. And the police came out and made a statement like, we didn't say that. So they go throw this black dude under the bus for a relationship he had some years ago to where the statute of limitations ran out. So he can't be prosecuted for this case. I'm trying to figure out, how did you arrest somebody? What probable cause did you have to arrest somebody that the arrest is taking place this many years after the statute of limitations has ran out? Don't that sound odd? That this man gets released from jail and his case dismissed because the crime was statutorily too. They didn't even wait to see if you could legally get this guy. They just jumped out the window and arrested him and put it in the news and made it a big deal. Because we got this black guy, because they got this scandal of this organized sex ring, which is what they're going out of their way not to call it that. But if you got 10 people that are going down, what do you call it when there's all of these victims and this guy got 20 charges, this guy getting 10 charges. Ooh, there's 11 charges. Ooh, there's 10 more. What is going on there? But they was like, throw this black dude out there. Oh, and then there's this other African dude. They love throwing this guy on face because this African dude was kidnapping chicks and he had a makeshift dungeon in his house. So he was going all the way up to Seattle, kidnapping these females down and driving all the way down to California with them. He had the bait, what they call it, the basement of horrors or whatever. Had him a little prison block in his basement. They love showing him because he appears with melanin. So they keep running his picture. But that dude, we all know he ain't FBA. He's an African. Even by his name, they know that. I mean, but this is what they do. It is what it is. Like the dude out of New Orleans. Like that guy. That guy, they try to throw him out. Oh, he's a black American. No, the hell he is not. Just because he wasn't born over in that country. You can look at that Champ Shindra. He ain't from here. His folks are not from here. And then, he's the Nation of Islam. That man is no part of Nation of Islam. And they have now came out, hit Fox with the cease and desist. Good for them. And as I see over on Phil Scott's channel, Vicky Dillard has, she does videos over there. And she brought up the Fox News dude and mentioning the NOI. And as it appears, see, here's the biggest thing that they are having a problem. We can be on the mic all day long. We can say what we say all day long. But the grassroots is the evidence of the message being real. And so, obviously, Fox News is bothered. So Fox News has turned off the comments to that video. Oh, imagine that. And if you haven't noticed, FBA is starting to turn up in a lot of people's titles. They're trying to figure out, how do we label FBA? If you're not a foundational Black American, you don't. You take what we give you, and that's that. These other groups have been so used to the disrespect that it's foreign to them to have to, or being forced to give respect. Not that I care, but, it's something that is very clear. They're not used to it. And they, obviously don't like being forced to endure it. But, oh well. So anyway, to the point of this evening, let me get this first video in here. Oh, yeah. Real quick. Real quick. Before I get into it, prepare yourselves. Trigger alert. Edomites at family dinner. Trigger alert. Edomites at family dinner. I saw this video. I'm like, this is a holiday for y'all, ain't it? It's, how the Ricola commercial, Ricola. You could just say, E. coli. E. coli. I warned you before I played it. Do I even need to give any commentary on that? In one clip without sound that could say everything that it needs to say for itself. Young men out there in the world, out there looking to date. Brothers, word of advice. Don't bring that home. Anyway. Lord. So, as you guys have seen, Capitol Hill. There's been things going on. But before we get to Capitol Hill, I'm going to talk about Jasmine Crockett, because actually I was going to hit she's the gift that keeps on giving too. So I already actually was planning to talk about Jasmine Crockett this evening. And then more stuff popped up, and like, wow, well, I guess I have to also bring that in as well. But it's still all Jasmine Crockett. But it's very telling about the things that I've been hearing her say. And so I'm glad what she did earlier today or yesterday. All of this is right on time, because this was actually where I was initially going. Did Jasmine Crockett call FBAs immigrants? And so that was going to be the first broadcast. But as you see now, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go way more with this particular angle. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to Jasmine Crockett, and I will demonstrate to you why I changed titles, because I realize that she is absolutely just a sassy Soros puppet. She ain't got the energy of Michelle Obama. And Michelle Obama being MIA, people are some are saying that her and Barack ain't even together. So she's going to bypass on the inauguration like other people. And, you know, this is the presidential inauguration. And these people are trying to like act like a black person lost. No black person was running for president. There was a white man and an Indian woman, but no black people were running for president. Zero. So with this conversation again, and I will also be doing a shorter broadcast coming in this week about Karen Bass, of course, you know, with her glitch. But with this DEI conversation, talking about DEI, I'm noticing in Jasmine Crockett that they're using her to push through DEI. So when you hear diversity, equity, and inclusion coming from Jasmine Crockett, you think black because you're looking at her and you're hearing her sass. But what she's talking about are other groups. She's not referring, she refers to black as her identifier and then proceeds to advocate for other groups. So, and then with this one, and I don't call it a mistake, I call it a purpose, misspeak, relating foundational black Americans to immigrants. So let's take a listen to this first clip here.
Recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have DEI, we have budget cuts, and yet
you know, it's funny. Let's not bring DEI in. Yes, let's. This is my feeling about DEI. Let me just say that right now. I believe you could kill DEI and simply focus on the original intent that affirmative action programs were meant for. Us, foundational black Americans, the only government disadvantaged group. There is no other group that was governmentally disadvantaged. That's only one group. Everybody else, oh, we had it hard. No, the government never puts you in position itself. We are the only citizens who have that history. That's it. No one else. So what they have to use Jasmine because our delineation movement is so strong. They now have to start using these dum-dums to get out there and start mixing the message, because there is no mixed messages coming from the grassroots. It has to now come from these do-nothing, jackleg, congressional black schemers, the congressional black liars, the I ain't doing nothing for black folks caucus, because she's part of, this is another caucus member, by the way. Let's hear what she's advocating for, because again, y'all wanted the first black woman here, the first black woman there, the first black woman here, black women, black women, black women, black women. You got what you wanted. You got black women here, you got black women there, you got black women everywhere. You got the first openly gay, lesbian here, the first openly trans here, and so they need to produce stuff. Because here's if it's just all about them being the first, then it's just about symbolism. Here's our other problem, though, about women in leadership. All now we're hearing all about is don't blame who's in charge. Women, if you want to promote a woman to be in a high office, that woman needs to meet the standard of accountability. That means she kind of has to be an anomaly from the majority. Let's keep it a buck. Accountability has not been, a lot of y'all are in the Maury generation. You know accountability in that. They're out here screaming for road. I'll get to that other part because she's going to say that mess and I'll address that what you do. But also being willful, like we have spineless dudes, Cory Bookers, Hakeem Jeffries, Raphael Warnock, Jim Clyburn, Old, all comfortable with being in the way of black empowerment. Their people live in squalor. They see other groups. They advocate for other groups to come here and do better than their own people. They make sure they support legislation that gets them tangibles to be in a better financial space as a group. But now here we are talking about DEI. Why? Because Foundational Black American Freedom have said, we are not cis. We will not accept your titles. We're done with that intersectionality. Feminism is nothing else but white supremacy. And the gender warring is from white supremacy. That is upholding white supremacy. If you uphold the standard and tenements of feminism, that's white supremacy. If you're an abortion pusher, it's the root of abortion in America is anti-blackness. Black genocide is the order of the day there. And if you look at the numbers, that actually substantiates itself. I don't know why anybody would find it okay to participate. That's a mental illness. I mean, you hear all these people, they run around saying, why don't you accept my mental illness? That's where we are with it now. Because we started calling mental illness normal. And now all you have is confusion and chaos. You can't have anything. And you won't get back to anything sane until you say no. I claim I feel I'm this. No. Because in life, you might have yeses. In life, you might have no. And right now, we're in the situation where so many of these people thought that the no didn't exist. How dare you say I can't come in here with your child and they're going to use the bathroom and I'm born the opposite sex? It's insanity. However, with America, 91 million plus staying home, 80 plus million voting for Trump, here are the Democrats trying to force in the same ideals and ideas and agendas that got them washed just a couple months ago. The Democrats are idiots. And I'm assuming now that, okay, this has just got to be about the money that's going into your movement. So at this point, these people don't even know what the hell they're talking about anymore. Well, then you guys are showing yourselves, not that you already didn't, but this is a very revealing tale. You guys are just sassy George Soros puppets.
I'm wondering now, if your house is burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters are?
You can respond and then we'll...
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. So let me be clear.
Has nothing to do with about DEI and firefighters. You asked for this to be in this specific position, and they are. And they're failing right now, and people have lost their homes. And she's so out of touch, but she has the support of all the other Democratic shields. So they'll get out there and they're going to give a positive review of this type of behavior. Ma'am, there's a whole black town that's gone. And the very first thing out of your mouth is, as the study suggested, black women are the most educated in this country. What the hell does that have to do with these black women failing? I don't even understand the connection. Why would you even bring that up? Okay, women are graduating. You got valedictorians or summa cum laudes at all these HBCUs. Okay. What the hell does that have to do with the fire that's going on in LA? See, this is when people start getting out of their depth and you realize that they don't have any substance. This is what she's talking about because this is fodder for the cause. And didn't understand how Scott, the white man, just baited her right on down this hill. What she should have done was, yes, they did push DEI. However, this, thus, and so. But at the end of the day, you really can't escape this one. Karen Bass, y'all was boasting. And Karen Bass, F her, she's not with the blacks. So let's not do all the Karen Bass being a black woman thing. She's a Mexican as far as we're concerned. She don't do nothing for us. She's for East LA. Miss me. You seen her little Christmas photos before LA was on fire. And not to mention all of these women that you had in position. The openly gay one, she threw the leadership under the bus and said, yeah, because we went to him and told him. So for Roland Martin and what's that other woman? Karen Hunter. And all you women at The View, please stop telling that lie that the budget wasn't cut. $17.6 million less for the firefighters in the budget for the year when they presented it. I don't know what you're talking about. And Karen Bass actually proposed a $23 million cut. And y'all got these black, I'll just watch all the black commentators get out here and lie to black people. $17.6 million cut to fire. The fire department. And while you're over here trying to give health insurance to illegals. Really? So these are the things that are going on in our neighborhood, folks. Let's, and I say neighborhood being on the West Coast because this is how they get down with these black politicians. They just got them a new member. And it's funny that they don't bring up Janelle Bynum. They got a new member of the Congressional Black Caucus from Portland. But she ain't going to do shit for black people. So, yeah, that's why they ain't making no big deal out of her. I guess they figure, well, we know what he's going to do. Yeah, ain't finna. Come on, man. She ain't even from the city. That's why y'all like her. If she was one of us, y'all be like, nope. No, Janelle Bynum, one of y'all. We got these people who grow up in these suburbs out here that you know they don't rock with black folks. They like the mystique of being black because of their identity, but their culture, no, you don't see these people. But you know, I guess. Well, again, and for the district that she even represented, like, you're going to be in this district if you rock with black folks. Or you might be out there in East County where my boy Terrence was running. However, out there, that like if you all watch my video where I was driving, my 2 driving videos, I had to drive out to East County, and you know, it's out there, but that's where they moved black folks to, so that he's, you know, was out there trying to get in there and make some changes, but they beat him. Nothing. We didn't have any black politicians that won anything this year. Our mayor is a brand new dude that owns Titan Trucking. If you guys have seen those trucks before. Somehow, out of nowhere, just Joe Nobody just shows up, and now he's mayor. Beat out all of these contestants that career politicians, and they're like, oh, well, people just wanted something different. I don't even know this guy's name. Mayor Wilson, that's his name now. Mayor Wilson saying, okay. But from what I'm hearing, they're just like, oh, he's another Ted. Okay, well, we'll see. I see there are things that are going on in my town that they're going to try to see if he's going to turn a positive eye toward the black community with some funds. Yeah, we'll see.
Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at.
No. It's not about looking at they made it a big deal. That's the problem you're having right now with this. We have all of this stuff was a big deal. And then the one fire chief who's over there, she has the little PSA video, and people want to get served by a person that looks like them because they understand with the background and where you're coming from. My house is on fire. I don't give a damn about what ethnicity you are as long as you're coming to save me and my family and my home. I mean, and then the other thing that this woman says, and here's the problem. This is why you guys got to eat this L. Well, if I can't carry a deadlift your husband out there, well, then he shouldn't have got himself in that position. Your misandry comes out in your commercial. All right, dear. Yeah, this is your DEI. Y'all got to eat this.
Qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House. And I can promise you, it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if
y'all catch that. Jasmine Crockett, foundational Black Americans, the ones you say are your ancestors who built the White House, those are not immigrants, which means they're descendants, which would mean that be us. We are not immigrants. We are citizens, natural born citizens. hear from the foundation and predate the foundation of this country? Why would you then try to lump immigrants in with us? See, this is what I initially was going to talk about. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did this happen? So, yeah, let her finish, because now she's going furthermore with an agenda, and she keeps using us and then bringing everybody else in. Not having that, ma'am.
We have been good enough to build this country. We are good enough to serve and die overseas. We are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people actually decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable. Because right now, you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable black women.
I'm not. I'm just simply saying that as a matter of public policy in California, the main interest in the fire department lately has been in DEI programming and budget cuts. And now.
That's all he said. And he's right. That is what they've been worried about. That's absolutely what this administration in the White House has been about. And see, here's the thing. She's up here acting like it's not a DEI thing. It is. And truth be told, I want Black empowerment completely separated from this conversation of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because it only includes everyone else. And here's half of that. 50% of that is white women, and the other another 25% of that is going to be white men that call themselves women. Then everybody else gets the rest. You can miss me with diversity, equity, and inclusion, because this is why they've been out there pushing it. Not because it's about us, because it's about the LGBTQ. Most importantly, it's about transgender agendas. So leave us the hell out of it. That's why that whole CRT thing was, they had fuel, because these Democrats keep tying everyone else to our empowerment. And that's why we have to delineate. And Jasmine Crockett keeps trying to throw out in the wind our connection with other groups. And I can't help but notice how often she keeps doing it. So here is her calling slaves that built this country immigrants. Let's see what else she ends up advocating for.
Now we have
Hold on. Are we really, but Scott, are we really blaming the fire department? The people in the LA fire department. No,
I'm blaming the Democrats who run the state.
No. But the fire department right now, they are dealing with a historic fire. Okay,
and they have terrible leadership.
That is caused by climate, by the fact that it is extremely dry in the state of California.
No. These fires were started by arsonists. And with that being said, fires can start at any season with arsonists. So that means that you have to have your fire department up to snuff, and you got to have water in your reservoir, not an empty one. Talking about this down for maintenance for months. And then you have insurance companies that know you're in a condition. Kind of looks like a conspiracy if you ask me, but you have all of these insurance companies pulling out. Either they pulled out knowing that fires would be set in the future, or they pulled out because leadership in the state was so shabby that these insurance companies could stand to lose so much money at the first bad wildfire. And when you think about it, both of those are plausible. However, the latter, it absolutely requires the fact that they believe they had bad leadership. And insurance is kind of their investment. Okay, just like in the banking world, when backing a loan, they're going to have to know what the insurance is talking about. So what kind of insurance? Because you can bank, the insurance company isn't looking to take a L. So is this in a flood zone or is this in a wildfire zone? I think being in a wildfire zone would be the same as a flood. If you're making builders buy, they have to be part of the flood insurance program. So they have to have flood insurance before they can build in a certain area. I would assume if you were in a wildfire area, it would be very similar. So who knows? Who knows? I would think it would, though, But let's see.
Yeah, and they are fighting it in hurricane, tropical force winds in that state. So how is it anything to do with DEI? How is it anything to do
no one has said
with
that
Okay, and I'll start there. So what it has to do with DEI is the people that you chose to put in place, those very firsts and all of this. You harped more on their sexuality, and we needed to know if they could support something like this because that's the job. And they weren't prepared. They weren't ready. We're in the Northwest. There's all kind of wildfires up here. You understand what I'm saying? All kind of wildfires up here. So, I don't get it. You know how to be prepared. And if you got somebody that's not prepared, it's on them. And if you put them there pushing an agenda, then now your agenda has to take a hit. That's the way it works. You own the wins and you own the losses. And unfortunately, this is a humongous loss for your agenda. Props to intersectionality. You won. Stop complaining. You can't blame DEI. Yes, the hell you can. You absolutely can. And here's even more to show how much Jasmine Crockett is on the Soros agenda train.
Sessions work together. I did not make comments to you. I specifically mentioned the ranking member. I'll yield back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Mace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think we should be taking the advice from a group of people who can't define what a woman is. You certainly can't define what government efficiency is. So let's just start right there, Mr. Chairman. I support the subcommittee, the creation of the subcommittee on DOGE. I wildly support Marjorie Taylor Greene as the subcommittee chairwoman. And again, to the party who says we don't like or support women, well, guess what? We have two women on this committee who are subcommittee chairwomen who carry gavels. And we're working for the President of the United States, the president who made the first female chief of staff ever in the history of the United States. And I also want to correct the record of the ranking member earlier. There's no Republican up here who has cut Social Security. That is a lie. That is a lie being promulgated by the left, aided and abetted by the mainstream media, and all those liars out there on social media on the left saying that is not true. And when we want to talk about oligarchy, we had Joe Biden, we had Nancy Pelosi, we had Chuck Schumer controlling everything on the Hill and the Capitol for years. And guess what? They've all delivered. They delivered the worst economy in history for Donald Trump. They have delivered more terrorists coming across the southern border than any administration in history. And so this subcommittee is greatly needed, Mr. Chairman. I hope that we all support it unanimously. Ms. Greene, you're going to do a great job as subcommittee chairwoman. I would love to be waved on anytime you let me, because it's time that we stop wasting American taxpayers. It is time that we stop wasting time up here on the Hill. We stop wasting time here in Congress talking about BS. And someone brought up dignity earlier. I would love to see dignity and respect for women up here on the Hill, which is why we should ban men from women's spaces, which is why we should ban men from the locker rooms, from women's locker rooms, which is why we should ban men from women's dressing rooms. I'm done with this. We got to get back to common sense. We got to get back to fighting and working hard for the American people, and we've got to do it together. So you guys can talk all you want on the left side of the aisle. You're not going to be successful because there was a mandate in November, the most historic mandate by Donald John Trump. And the American people want us to get our stuff together. Notice how I'm not cursing today. They want us to get our stuff together and work for the American people. And that starts now. That can start with the DOJ subcommittee. That can start with every committee on the Hill today if we put in the effort and the work to do it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
Okay. So you heard her piece. I wanted to make sure I played both parts. Here's part two.
I don't even know how we got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or not.
Do not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will.
am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay.
in order.
Order.
Point of order.
Oh, that is hilarious. So why is Jasmine Crockett tuning up with the she gone? So she's warming up to the sass. Oh man, see, for me, this is not the greatest example. Like, I don't want to see. This isn't strength, ladies and gentlemen. This is, and we don't want to keep seeing this as strength. This ain't politics and hip hop. This is like love and hip hop. This love and politics. This is crazy. And then Nancy Mace was ready for her, though. We can go outside. And I've seen a lot of people say, you know, I think Jasmine Crockett can take it. Jasmine Crockett is not from the hood. Jasmine Crockett is from private school with both of her parents. And this chick went through basic training. Sometimes the bark is just loud. And some people can say maybe it's a little bit of cosplay in there too on Jasmine Crockett's part. I'm going to throw on a little extra because I was never talking like this. While anybody out there seen the ink whale? And how them bougie Negroes was acting? What does it feel like to have a bougie Negro come around here? What we gonna do? I'm a show this, child. Ooh-wee, child. I'm trying to relate to every black woman in America right now. Ooh, child. What next? You gonna be up there with a bonnet on? And your nails popping? Well, how they do that shit? Whatever you see here, these little hood rats do. I call them, that's the crack baby sound. That's the sound of a crack baby. It sound messed up, but what come after that type of, after that sound, don't some foolishness come out? It's something that probably you be like, that's not really quite rational, but all right.
Point of order.
Order. Chair recognizes Ms.
Where she said that.
Side and have a
no violence.
There was no violence.
Inquiry,
and remember, this is a slippery slope you're going down because we have.
Oh, you're going down the
committee,
slippery
as you know.
So just to be clear, in this committee, we can ask, we can threaten violence on someone as long as excuse me.
I did not threaten violence. I threatened no violence. I threatened no violence.
As long as at the end.
I threatened no violence. None. You're making shit up as you go along. You might want to figure this one out.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
she just prided herself in not cursing.
I'm going to appeal the ruling of the chair.
Of the chair. Okay.
Ask for a recorded vote.
I can finish up in the 2:40.
After debate for 15 minutes.
Let's get back. They had some confusion going on.
So the chair recognizes Ms. Crockett for the remainder of her 4 minutes that don't count towards the limit to debate. Then from there on, if there's further requests for debate, there'll be 7.5 minutes each time. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett for her remaining 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The final points that I was going to make is while this amendment has to do with civil rights, for whatever reason, the colleague on the other side of the aisle decided to attack Democrats and pretend as if we do not look out for women. And I want to be clear that it's Democrats that were pushing for the Equal Rights Amendment, and I don't recall any Republicans supporting us having the Equal Rights Amendment. I also want to make it clear that just because someone fantasizes or wants to be dramatic about the idea of someone could be a quote unquote man in a locker room or in a bathroom, I've yet to hear an actual testimony of someone who, for whatever reason, has experienced this in real time. But I can tell you some real numbers and some real facts because
this is going to get good, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers and the facts that she's about to pull out is going to be captacular.
I don't like to live in fantasy when I'm talking about how I'm going to govern for the American people. The facts are, in my state alone, in the state of Texas, once they decided that they were going to overturn the Roe decision, 26,000 women then ended up raped.
Then don't we have a SA epidemic in the state of Texas? When you can get rid of Roe v. Wade and immediately 26,000 men said, you know what? I want to go out and assault me somebody today. Since Roe v. Wade, you've had 26,000 R's. In the state of Texas. Who does that make sense to? That must come from misandry.com. What in the hell kind of stat is that? Since they stopped Roe, what does Roe v. Wade have to do with the correlation of 26,000 R's? So men said, oh, you can't get an abortion no more. We're going to try to impregnate as many women as I can in the state of Texas. We're supposed to believe that. And again, look at what whose rights she's really railing for. And then she keeps conflating the conversation like civil rights and black and in trans. No, ma'am, stop.
26,000 is what we had reported.
That's
and
insane.
That was only within about a year's time span. And when they reported those...
Y'all believe that? So within a year's time span, they got rid of Roe v. Wade, and 26,000 women have reported being R. Again, where is that stat coming from? And okay, here's my other question. How many convictions then? How many prosecutions? How many kits are waiting to be tested? Because if that's the case, because you need to look out for the victims, and where's the funding for the counselors for 26,000 women who are victims? They've experienced trauma. They need counseling. They need resources. They need safe spaces. So maybe you need to start building some more women's shelters or something like that in the state of Texas. It seems to me like you need to be making the appeal for the women. Because while you're sitting up here talking about trans, and I'm sorry, the conversation is actually about men in women's bathrooms. Somehow, now she's saying since Roe v. Wade got knocked down, 26 women got R. But it still doesn't matter that we want to advocate for putting natural-born men in the bathroom with those same women. It's all Trump's fault. Oh, by the way, the subcommittee that she's talking about, the civil rights subcommittee that they got rid of and she wants to reinstate, maybe you might be familiar with the last person to whom we saw speak at that very same subcommittee that Jasmine Crockett here is trying to bring back. Remember this one? That's the civil rights subcommittee that we're talking about. The one that she was over here trying to crap on, that had her crapping on black folks. And then they had to bring out the real stats that white people are the main culprits of anti-Asian hate crimes and violence. And, you know, she still doesn't like to believe it because she's anti-black. But, you know, and so that's more like it. But never forget, Diane Knapp was one of the last people that you saw speak at that committee that Jasmine Crockett is here fighting for right now. And these are the, you know, if you remember, there was a whole anti-Asian hate crime bill that all of these people advocated for. Letitia James in New York had a hotline, and if you want to call, there's nothing going on with Robert Brooks' case. It's funny, she's not even asking if anybody else out there, past or former inmates, that might have stories of being assaulted while being in custody. She probably should be looking for other victims, right? Anyway.
Rapes, none of them seem to have anything to do with trans folk. And I don't recall any legislation to help out those women in Texas and beyond that are actually dying. We're not projecting may die, but are actually dying or have died in southern states that have decided that they wanted to go after our reproductive freedom. So as a woman...
That's not a reproductive freedom. That's just the freedom of death. So you mean your freedom of death? The freedom of life termination? That's what you mean, right? You want, see, that's not, well, no, that's freedom of, let's call it what it is. See, here's the other selfish thing about these people here that push this. What about the other person? There's a person there. This life is being stopped. So why are we talking about the woman? It's a heartbeat being stopped. That's an entirely different being. So let's not just talk like, oh, it's a woman's freedom. No, it's a freedom of death. You want to be a heart stopper, not a heart throb, but a heart stopper. You want to be a baby blender. So you're a pro baby blending. Start calling, see, make it, call it what it is. They want you to use all of these words, not calling it what it is. You want to be a baby blender. You want to go to the baby hitman. And then get out here and say how all of this violence out here bothers you. What? Fellas, don't ever feel bad for doing anybody wrong that feels that they're a good person that has spent a lot of time dropping off souls at the office. They are not a good person. I'll tell you to your face, ladies, you're a horrible person. But anybody can be redeemed. But if you justify that, you are absolutely a horrible person. There's no justification for that. Whether it be a baby in front of you, or a baby blended in you, it's still the same. The lie you told yourself is a lie you told yourself. That is it, nothing more. But that's why we're here. We have all of these other agendas going on. Again, I keep telling y'all, it's mental illness. The trans, and she talking about the safety of women, and then all of these women were ARD but weren't by anybody trans. How can you actually say that? Because those actually would still be men. So they were ARD by men, regardless if they were identifying as trans or not. Because I guarantee you cannot tell me that you know the sexual orientation of 26,000 men. That's hogwash.
In this country, as a Texan and as a Black woman, when we look at the numbers, and I believe in data and science, and I know that escapes a lot of people in this chamber. But the numbers are clear that specifically Black women have always struggled.
Hey, here's a part of science. It's called biology. You're born with nuts and a penis. That makes you a man. If you're born with ovaries and a vagina and a uterus, then that makes you a woman. Here's the byproduct of the one thing that everybody has in common. You both have assholes. And sometimes you could just find yourself to be full of shit.
When it came down to the maternal mortality rates in general. The fact that somebody who looks like me, no matter how much money they have, because I can remind you of a very wealthy
Michael Jackson,
the tennis star that almost lost her life while trying to give birth. Some things I honestly just don't think should be partisan. And frankly, I do believe in privacy because honestly, I don't want none of y'all making decisions if I ever end up pregnant and have to decide what it takes for me to save my life.
Ma'am, you don't even disclose who your husband is. I don't even know how they let you get this far. All this, I'm a Black woman. Now, as far as I know, and because I haven't cared to dig, but how hard is it really to find out who Jasmine Crockett married to? She might be married to a white dude. They like her too much. She ain't got no Black husband. They like her too much. No. And the fact that you don't, and she's able to keep him hidden, and the children, I would lean to say that maybe her husband might be from them same folks as Soros. Because they like her. She gonna know how to FaceTime. Look at Ilhan Omar. See what they do? They come over here, they get rid of the Somali man and quickly went and got her Lemuel. She attended bar mitzvahs and whatnot for the family members, saying, I wonder, Oh, Jasmine married too. And she got her gefilte fish eater.
And I give the same opportunity for other women in this country to make decisions as they see fit. So while we look at how we protect women completely differently, I can tell you that at least in the 766,000 women or 766,000 constituents that I represent, I have had them come to me concerned about whether or not they could survive childbirth. But I have not had a single person in my district tell me that they were concerned that they may be raped by a trans person. So if there is an issue to solve in this country based on facts, data, and statistics, I think that we need to look at the type of health care that we are going to advance for women in this country. And with that, I will yield.
Gentlelady, yield.
Well, yeah. But however, women's health care does not have to do anything with men. So see what she just did there? Hey, women, stop bugging over having men coming to the bathroom with you. We're still going to try to push that. I'm like, okay, see, this is very interesting. I'm just noticing who's speaking and what they're speaking about. And if you've noticed, they keep trying to make the trans conversation relevant to civil rights. I guess because also we're going into Martin Luther King, and this really should be about reparations, but they keep trying to talk about trans using women's bathrooms and playing in sports. So what they're upset about is what just happened with the vote. And so now women's sports is going to be with biological females. And that's cool. I have no problem with it. Makes sense to me. It's logical sense. So the last one that we're going to play here is the Puerto Rican that never disappoints to say something ridiculously stupid. And because women can't get abortions in certain states, women are dying and bleeding out in the streets and in the parking lots. Oh, let's hear AOC yuck it up again.
So much, Madam Chair, Madam Ranking Member. Here we are today, Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die.
Now, they sit up there and defend people not wanting men with penises in the bathroom with little girls and grown women. You don't want, you have an issue. That's just too much. And nobody just came to me and said that they were afraid of that. But now here we have AOC. Some women are gonna be bleeding to death in parking lots and standing in line. And this type of logic, or illogic, shall I say, this is just excused as normal. This is lunacy.
Now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls.
No one is saying you're going to have to look at a little girl's genitals to figure out if she's a boy or a girl. That should be on the onus of the parents, because there should be some heavy parental involvement in a sport anyway. But yeah, see, the way they frame it, you have a little boy. He's going to be playing little boy sports, whether he's soft or not. You have a little girl. She's going to be playing girl sports, whether she's tomboy or not. But this right here, all of this fantastical, this is just the over dramatic scenario that no one has heard of. No one has heard. Thousands of women are bleeding in the parking lots. What the hell?
And to that, today, what we have to say are two words: not today. The majority right now says there's no place in this bill that says it opens up for genital examinations. Well, here's the thing. There's no enforcement mechanism in this bill. And
so the bill doesn't actually say that. And then she turns around. So she says this and then turns around and notes that the bill doesn't say that. This woman is incredibly nuts.
When there is no enforcement mechanism, you open the door to every enforcement mechanism. Trans girls are girls.
No, they are not. They are boys. They have penises and balls. Last time I checked, that makes you a man. You may be a soft man. You may be an effeminate man. But you ain't a woman man.
And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen.
Absolutely not. There's plenty of women who are married and have husbands around here. So see this whole concern about women and this and that. Why? Look at how they keep centering themselves. And they keep eliminating parenthood. Why? Because most of these harlots are not parents. But they want to dictate to you what life should be. This woman shouldn't be speaking in any public setting, really. The fact that you guys elected this, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I be wondering what some of y'all be wondering or thinking. However, with Marjorie Taylor Greene as buck, as I believe she is, obviously there's something in the state of Georgia that y'all are resonating with. This right here, though, I guess you can just get the Puerto Rican vote. But the fact that y'all are like, what is it that she is doing for y'all that you say, yes, Ocasio-Cortez. Really? Because she's always over here saying wild stuff like this. And half the stuff she says can't possibly be true.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for
It's not co-ed.
is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies.
What? No, a woman is a woman, Alexandria Cortez. And so what you're saying is men want to make sure that men are men and women are women? And you don't get to play that little game? You talk, okay, because see what we're saying, what she's almost borderline advocating for is for R by deception. Because they keep trying to make it about adults when it starts about the children, but they keep centering adults. So this is more for adults. It's not about the kids, clearly, because when people are drafting these laws or telling you about protecting the kids, these people keep getting, oh, you're trying to protect women now? You care about women? We're talking about teenagers. You are an adult. You have the right to do what you do. But these teenagers, these and below, they don't need to have no dude in a dress walking up in the bathroom behind them. And I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense to you. Well, you are irrational. And we have got, because y'all understand gender, Here, let me let y'all in on a little secret that you might not know, because I found this out while the state was paying for gender reassignment surgery in prison. So if you don't know, to get qualified for a sex change, you have to admit that you have gender dysphoria. And at one time, gender dysphoria was literally listed as a mental illness. So you have to acknowledge this truth. As a man, I desire to become like a woman. So to turn around and start talking about trans women are women, they are not. By the very definition of gender dysphoria, to have to admit that to get to a sex change, they have to embrace the identity of being a man. Get so sick of hearing these people lie to y'all. Had 2 transgenders in the prison I was in. One got married to another inmate on the state. Stop letting these folks lie to you, folks. That's all they're doing is lying.
I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill. But also, CEOs love this bill. Because Los Angeles is on fire right now. And this is the #1 priority the majority has. Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman reserved.
What? Apples, oranges, oranges, apples. What say you? Boy. How do people listen to that lady? Oh my God, that is brutal. That is brutal. Gee. Oh man. So, and she's another one. She's another Soros plant, APAC. All of these folks have certain interests. What I want to know is, why are they so interested in our approach to reparations? Let's never forget that Jam Woman was also propped up. And her funding partners, who are committed to advancing reparations and transforming philanthropy for the better. So you mean to tell me philanthropists are in somehow got something to do with reparations, but they are not at all interacting with the grassroots? That's why we say, let's just do it our way. And this is the name you should be putting on our bill. I don't want to hear about no John Lewis and no Sheila Jackson Lee. Let's go straight to the man. Today's his birthday. Let's give the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Reparations Act popping. Let's get that. There ain't no study. You can break that down, and you can use my state's blueprint of a bill. And you can do that federally. And that it needs to be done on the state and city, because all have had hands to play. So here's something that the cities need to start doing. Cities need to start making sure that there is space and housing for those people who are descendants, not the Black African immigrants, not all these other folks that come here, but these specific people, like in my community, the people of Albina and the people of the Mississippi and Piedmont area. And so, in Alberta, the historic Irving district, all of these areas where you move Black folks out of, we need to be placed in here. You place Hacienda right on Killingsworth. I would never accept anything less than us being put smack dab back in the city. Black folks need to be right around where MLK is. Put us back to where we belong. Simple as that. You tried to gentrify us out of our neighborhood, and you got all of these new transplants over here in all of these homes. People ain't been in Portland but 10 years. They literally, and this is having black politicians and all that. So all of this having black politician stuff is garbage to me. Because I sit up here in my city and watch everybody who do it. When we had the George Floyd protests and we were on the news every damn night, and, you know, I was seeing how a lot of, you know, folks here thought that this was the move. Like, oh, yeah, you guys are going to be right back in the club next week. As soon as this is over, you all this, I'm outside and I'm an activist now and we're out here doing the work. Y'all going to be gone in 5 minutes. You think any of them are still activists right now? Hell no. 4 years later, you couldn't even keep your hands to the plow for a solid 4 years. We out here doing the work. Shameful. They're gonna fly. The Johnny come latelys just kill me. And this ain't where your heart is. Like all of a sudden you wanted to jump out the window and be activists. I'm not going to your damn march. I'll never forget telling Teresa that years ago. Like, look, I'm at this point only down for us. If it ain't about us, I don't want no parts of it. I will not be part of anything that's multicultural. I'm done. Not doing that at all anymore. So if you see me at an event, just know I've been paid. If it's a multicultural anything, no, there was a check. And yes, it was over 1,000. Yeah, if it got multicultural on it, you had to pay me at least $1,000. Yeah, I've seen how that go. And I mean, you know, there's people you want to give the benefit of the doubt, and then other people I've seen, okay, we're a launching pad for you. That's what it is over here for you. I got it. And so that's why I'm real selective with my energy and who I might advocate for. You know, because in a lot of cases people are unappreciative. Second, you know, other people have their own agenda. And third, you know, I've never looked for anything that I do for anyone else to just benefit me. But with that being said, seeing how the reciprocation don't end up being the same, that would be my last reason. So don't get it twisted. Like I may vouch for somebody here and there, but if I do, then that'll be me doing it. But see, people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. And so I will say it like this for the people, because there are people out there who would not even try certain people because they believe, like, oh, well, yeah, he might have something to say about it. So like I said, my former moderator is absolutely not tied to anything I protect. At all. The one who got my name out there, if my name has been in spaces by individuals, my name's negatively out there like that, they ain't under this umbrella. You got issues with them? That's on you. I ain't in it at all. They said, well, he got nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. God bless you. People can learn to be grateful in whatever way they need to learn. I guess these people are showing gratitude too. I wonder what kind of gratitude she's showing too, because Jasmine Crockett actually be hanging around the Soros son, so I guess he the heir apparent. So I guess she kind of getting friendly with him too. So yeah, look at look at the look on Michelle's face. Girl, I don't know. You might need to get up and do something, because they like her. I'm the new it girl, y'all. Look at me. I'm Sassy Soros puppet. And never forget, Stacey Plaxton is not FBA. And so she's also on that particular broadcast with Jasmine. I was going to go into a little bit of what she had to say, but it's not really worth it now because we already have the gist of the matter. All of these people have been backed by this dude. And they also got this AIPAC money they taking. All of them folks from Soros and AIPAC all connected. They probably all see each other in synagogue. Or at the Mason meeting. Anyway, this has been a beatzillapdx official midweek report. You understand? And so, for those of y'all, and again, just like I said, but again, I ain't covering nobody. So if y'all got beef, and my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. What? What's that mean? Anyway, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Oh, man. Like I said, my name be in Spaces. I always remember.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
It's funny when people find out like, oh, this is that and this and that. But man, oh, wow, you guys got a whole different situation cooking without me. Shoot, have at it. I ain't got nothing to say. Well, people been busy out here, haven't they? Reminds me of a scripture about a woman with tinkling feet. I'm going to go over here to this group. I'm going to go over here to that group. I'm going to go over here to this group. I'm going to go over here to that group. And I'm going to cause dissension and sprinkle a little dissension behind the scenes and a little bit of everywhere I go. You know, this person over here don't like you, you know. So be very leery when people come to you out of nowhere talking about somebody else. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, Lord. Anyway, this go around in this next political cycle, we're going to see a lot. We're even going to see the conservative dum-dums come out here because they have to now, they're now realizing like, oh, shit, these guys got the Democrat shields out the paint. And we over here been kissing the Republicans' ass, and these Negroes ain't kissing nobody's ass. It's about their agenda and what do we do? Let's get out in front. Man, I ain't about no reparations. And then the grassroots will quickly tell you, shut your little bitch ass up. And then, you know, it's just that, oh, it's FBA this and FBA is a lineage. And there's too many millions of us for you to be talking against. STFU. But some of you may not quite get that message. And if you don't, you can hang out with Busta Rhymes, Plies, and Fat Joe. And go the way of Kamala Harris's political career. Or better yet, Luke's YouTube career. And never forget, Al Sharpton and Roland Martin too sassy, too loud, and too wrong, got a whole $1 million more than y'all. And he only on TikTok, being sassy and neck rolling, cussing on women with sick children that were locked up by Kamala Harris, actually by herself. Yeah, the woman that did the perp walk where they had the cameras and Kamala. And so they sent this dipshit to go be disrespectful to this woman, to whom you always see me retweet. That lady that you see me retweet is the same woman that has that sick child. If you see the GoFundMe I posted, that's the sick child of that woman that Kamala Harris threw in prison over truancy. But this is the grassroots, and you are not. But some of y'all might think you could pass yourself off as it. Well, I speak for myself, beatzillapdx official, the beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat and the voices, the grassroots and the voices of new black media, I think I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
And we are a week away from the inauguration, and hopefully we have mass deportation day. So just like the Martin Luther King holiday, we celebrate him today, and we also say hashtag fire up the jet.
Happy birthday, we're celebrating you today. Like Dr. King holiday, we ain't gonna do any work today. Happy birthday today. It's your beautiful day, and we gonna party all day like it's a freaking holiday.
Yeah, like it's a freaking holiday, y'all. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are going to bid y'all adieu. So again, thank you for tuning in this Wednesday evening. Again, happy birthdays to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Salute to his family. Salute to all of the FBA family, Freedman family, all of us descendants of chattel slavery and descendants of the Maroons. Peace be unto all of you. Keep y'all notification bells on, folks, and until the next time, y'all stay black. Well, actually, wait, before I get into that, y'all follow me. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. Email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And of course, if you want to put some money in the bucket, you can do so by way of donation at CashApp. That's $ beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That's ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. Now, with that being said, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed evening.
When you know who Satan is,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth.
Yes.
See, that's what you throw.
Yes, right, right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan Who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.